No, I'm actually a journalist now. I've been published in it doesn't matter. Anyway, we are all well aware that running that story was a mistake and are taking immediate steps.
I cannot actually get over this. It's really remarkable. A senior editor at Runway. You.
Yep. We're all so thrilled.
Mm-hmm. You know what's funny is you've changed. You have. You're much more confident.
Oh.
Kept those eyebrows, though, didn't you?
Emily, Andy, Nigel, and Miranda reunite for a whole new adventure in the New York high society world of fashion in the legacy sequel, The Devil Wears Prada 2. Bryan,
yes.
Is it a legacy sequel?
I think it is.
What is a legacy sequel?
A movie that is more than 10 years old, 15 years? I don't know.
I thought like a legacy sequel is like The Force Awakens, where there's like a baton pass, like a new cast taking over and the franchise is going to go over.
Not necessarily. I just think it's just a sequel. Yeah,
it's just a sequel from a movie from the ancient past?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Top Gun Maverick, Dumb and Dumber 2.
Yeah, but like Top Gun Maverick is like a baton pass kind of movie.
Is it?
Yeah, with Goose's kid.
Tom Cruise is coming back.
He's not passing. All right. Whether or not The Devil Wears Prada 2 is a legacy sequel or not, that's not an issue, okay? Is the movie good or not? That's what we're here to discuss.
There we go.
I think it is a movie that is very much nodding and winking and telling jokes that are actually references to jokes from the earlier film.
Yeah, and luckily, because I had never seen the first Devil Wears Prada until the day before I went.
Same, Bryan.
I know, and that might be a little blasphemous to say, I'm sorry. But I had watched the first movie the night before going to see this movie, so I had kind of like that back-to-back, almost like double feature experience of watching
and they really do echo each other.
They do.
Well, two echoes back to one.
Yes, it does, a lot. There's a lot of references to that first movie. The first movie, maybe because I watched it so late, 20 years later, and so it didn't really hit for me as much, but going to the sequel, I think for me, I actually enjoyed the sequel a lot more than the first movie.
Well, that's interesting.
And it feels like this movie is really, I mean, whether how they say it, it feels like it has a lot to say about the state of journalism now.
Yeah. I love all that stuff, right? Like Runway Magazine is now an app. Like, that's perfect, okay? I think that when you go back and you watch the original Devil Wears Prada, there are things from a 2026 lens that don't hold up. And I like how the sequel kind of addresses those things a little bit. Especially with how Miranda, Meryl Streep's character, behaves. The first film, she is such...
what's the word?
I was going to say a villain. But like, villain's not quite, like, she's so rude, she's so self-centered, and obviously sharp and great at her job. But if you're not excelling in her way, she wants nothing to do with you, right? They soften her up a lot.
In the sequel,
In the sequel. They really want to bring a lot of empathy towards Miranda. And how do you think that was achieved?
That was the one thing that kind of stood out to me was the character of Miranda and how they do really kind of soften her up and make her a little bit more vulnerable. I mean, even partnering her with Kenneth Branagh, who has nothing to do in this movie.
It's nice to see him.
But it is nice to see him. I think that does give her something it gives her a bit of an arc, especially with what this movie is dealing with, because Runway is kind of in crisis mode because of a scandal that they have gone through. It does kind of put Miranda back on her heels, where we kind of reintroduce Andy and how she has to come in a different position. So I like where all these characters are kind of coming back after 20 years.
It takes like the antagonism that Anne Hathaway and Meryl Streep had in the first movie, and then becomes a partnership, right?
Yes.
It's a little like I don't know, buddy cop-ish. It's a little bit like Riggs and Murtaugh in the first Lethal Weapon, and where they are in the second Lethal Weapon, right?
The Riggs and Murtaugh of the fashion world.
I did enjoy that. And Emily Blunt, also comes back, and she's so freaking fantastic
I love
in this
Blunt.
role too.
Yeah, she really is.
So I did miss some of the venom that Miranda had in the first movie.
Okay.
She's a little dulled in this one because of the nature of the plot.
Yeah.
But also they're still so good together. Like that chemistry is still there between those two characters.
And I think there's chemistry between the whole, like that whole ensemble. I mean, Stanley Tucci, I love Stanley Tucci.
Yeah.
I mean,
who doesn't love the Tooch?
The Tooch, man. Yeah, I mean, I love him in everything that he's in. And his character of Nigel, especially where we kind of left him in the first movie, and then him still there 20 years later working with Miranda, and seeing like where his character, he still has kind of like those sharp, witty kind of, jabs at Andy, which is always fun to see. But where his emotional arc kind of goes with his character, I like a lot. Where he
was left off in the first film, he got that like bruise to his ego when he was passed over, right?
Yeah.
And so it's interesting to see where he is and how he is dealing with the fallout of that bruising in the first film.
Yeah, it's interesting, man. Like I said, like how it just kind of relates to like the world we live in now with journalism, like the whole idea, especially it's so funny looking at studios and, we talk about WB kind of getting bought out by Paramount, and then you talk about these big conglomerates consolidating and people losing jobs. And how this movie is really kind of speaking to that. What's your rating for this?
A B+. I had a good time with it. I don't know if I liked it as much as the first film, but I probably liked it almost as much.
Okay. I personally, for me, because I came to that first movie so late, and then seeing this, especially seeing the second one on the big screen and not being able to kind of be like distracted by, the phone or putting it on pause or whatever the case may be. I like this. I like that second movie. Now, again, like we said with Michael, how it plays on rewatch, I don't know. But with my experience of watching this, it's a B+ for me. So,
if you liked what you just saw,
then check us out on YouTube at PGC TV Online. We'll see you at the movies.